This is the Sales Gravy Podcast, and it's Wisdom Wednesday where you drive the agenda. And on this segment of the Sales Gravy Podcast, you bring your biggest sales challenges and Jeb Blount delivers his best answers. And those answers, they come straight from the trenches because Jeb's not just teaching sales, he's out there prospecting, closing, and leading sales teams every single day. Before we jump in, I want to give you a quick update because I've been talking about the Outbound Conference. This is the biggest, the baddest, the best sales conference on the entire planet. It is getting ready to announce its new location and dates, and tickets always sell out fast. So if you wanted those early bird tickets or you want more information, you got to head over to outboundconference.com. That's outboundconference.com right now and get on that waiting list. All right, let's take that next caller. Next up is Margarita from Dallas, Texas.
All right, next up on the show is Margarita from the great city of Dallas, Texas. Margarita, what you got going on?
I'm a seasoned realtor. I've been in the business 20 plus years. And, in this industry, I've prided myself on 95% of my business coming from referral business, warm market. And now we're in this whole big world of social media. And, I want to incorporate that into my business. Now, I got a little bit of an edge up in it. I've read your book and I started to implement some. I got some great ideas from it in fanatical prospecting, but it's still kind of scary. And social media, it has not been a part of my. Unfortunately, I didn't make it a part of my platform until like 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And so now I'm trying to kind of catch up with the times and say, okay, how do you make this work? Working with the warm market, Jeb, I find that it's an easy call. It's an easy introduction. They're kind of waiting for me. Some of them I've kind of met them, but now incorporating social media, I find that I have a short window to introduce myself as a person of influence, a person that knows that I can get them from A to Z, get them top dollar for their home and sold quick. So that's why, I kind of wanted to hear from an expert that has taught sales to Fortune 500 companies and say, okay, this is what you need to be doing now.
I mean, the bad news I have for you is that you've got a long road ahead of you. It's interesting that where you are because a 20-year veteran, you've built a business on your referrals and your relationships, so much so that you didn't really need social media. And I feel a little bit of kindred spirit with you because on some other areas of our business, like our website, we've been so successful as a company. We've had so much referral business and warm business and leads coming to us that we didn't spend a whole lot of time on SEO or building out the most beautiful website in the entire world because we didn't really have to. And you're in the same boat. Like you didn't really have to be on social media because you had a big client base. And suddenly you're making this shift because you recognize that social media can amplify your message. It can introduce you to more people. The market certainly has changed for buyers and sellers. And the housing market, it is a very ugly world out there right now if you're a realtor. The good news you have going for you is you're established. You've been around for 20 years. I wouldn't want to be somebody new getting into your space right now. It would be very, very hard. So you already have a basis. With that, it's going to take you some time. Like you've got to establish your presence on that platform. When you think about social media, I want you to think about it as a realtor in two different buckets. One is marketing. So marketing is people know your name. They know who you are. They see your face. You're familiar to them. You're creating a presence where when people are in the market or they are looking, your name comes top of mind. The second part of social media is directly getting leads and having conversations with people. So it's watching what they're doing. It's interacting with them. It's bringing them into your world, and then it's converting them into a listing. If you look at it in those two buckets, the second one, a little easier, but that's going to happen because of what you do in the first one. What I want you to think about is a movie star that you like. What's a movie star that you like that you, when you watch shows, you want to see this person, or a TV star?
Tom Cruise.
Okay, Tom Cruise, right? Now, what's the very first movie you ever saw Tom Cruise in?
The one where he was in the the military. I forget the name. Top
Okay,
Gun.
yeah,
Top Gun. I'm
Top
sorry.
Gun. Top Gun. So he was in Top Gun, and he was in A Few Good Men, both military movies. The very first time I saw Tom Cruise, it was in Risky Business, and nobody knew who Tom Cruise was. I remember going to the movie theater and seeing it, but it was a good movie. But I wasn't like instantly in love with Tom Cruise. I mean, he wasn't like instantly the greatest movie star ever, today he is. They call him the last movie star. But in Risky Business, he was a teenager running around dancing in a house in his underwear. Nobody knew who he was. But over time, the more we saw Tom Cruise, the more we want to see Tom Cruise. Like if you saw Tom Cruise out in Dallas hanging out, you'd be, fangirling all over him. Like I want to get a picture with you. I want to get your autograph because you love Tom Cruise because you've seen him so many times. You need to think about social media that way. How are you going to create fans of you? And social media allows you to do that. But that takes a daily focus on building out your social media presence. Now, I've got a brand new book coming out called The LinkedIn Edge, and that's called a gratuitous book plug for everybody just listening. But in that book, I walk through what you need to do to create that fandom on LinkedIn. But much of that will translate to where you probably need to be as a realtor, which is going to be somewhat on LinkedIn, but a lot of it on Meta and Instagram and TikTok and places where your clients are going to hang out. So you've got to think about how are you going to create that? And the number one way that you're going to create fans is you have to do it every single day. Like every day you got to wake up and you got to be posting something on social media. And at first, the things that you post will probably not be interesting. Nobody's going to look at it. You're going to put a TikTok video out and 3 people are going to look at it. Been there, done that. I understand. And it's not going to make you feel very good. But the algorithms reward consistency. So you got to go every day, every day, every day, including weekends, because you're a realtor. And you got to think about your audience. What do you want to say? How do you want to connect with them? Now, if you've got homes listed, that's an easy thing to post. So
Right.
just get a video and walk through the homes. We did a podcast with Alexander Zakarin a while back, and on Sales Grove University, there is a course there for that he did around social media as a realtor. But if you ever go follow Alex and he's on Instagram, he sells real estate in New York, but he's got these cool videos and he goes all through these apartments and these condos with his camera. They're funny. It's his way. And what he would tell you is that you got to do it your way. Like what makes you unique? What makes you different? You got to think about what questions are you asking answering for people when people are looking at in the markets where you're selling. What are the questions that they're asking about those markets? How do you show up when they're asking those questions? Where are people having dialogue? Who are your competitors having dialogue? How do you comment on those things? But every day you got to show up and you got to think, I got to post original content that's going to grab people's attention. You probably will curate some content. So curating content might be finding information about the Dallas market that you then post on your social media. So that people who are searching for that information find that. Curation is you posting something, adding your own insight so that you become an expert off of someone else's back, right? So they posted it, maybe you're reposting an article, and you've got to be engaging with your audience. And this is where a lot of people fail. So you're posting original content, you're posting curated content, but then there are people out there commenting on that or interacting with it, and then you post and ghost, right? You don't come back and then interact with those individuals. So getting that two-way conversation going matters greatly. And curation is sharing other people's content, it's reposting things that you find on social media, but it's getting that body of work out there that you're every day showing up, every day showing up, every day showing up, every day showing up. And then the way that you start converting that into leads is that as you post, as you put content out, it should be entertaining, right? Just think about it as a stream and people are like coming into your channel, but you want to answer the questions that they're asking. Really, this is your superpower because you've been doing this for 20 years. You're a veteran. You know stuff that everybody else doesn't know. I mean, think about 20 years. You you stuck around. You actually became a realtor during the Great Recession when the real estate market fell apart. You've been doing this longer than anybody. So take all of your experience and think about what are people who are searching for homes or selling homes thinking? What are they worried about? What are their concerns? What are their challenges? And then begin to post content that answers those questions. That will turn them into leads because they're going to come to you and say, I'm having this problem. Talk to me. And you already know how to do that. You built an incredible career on all these warm leads and relationships. So once they come to you, you know exactly what to do. You know how to engage them and bring them in, ask questions, make them know that you care about them or cause them to know that you care about them. You know how to do all those things. And the last thing I would leave you with is, if you really want to be on social media, is just understand this. It is a grind, a freaking grind. It is hard. It is difficult. Every day you're trying to figure out what you're going to post, what you're going to do. You can use AI to help you do some of that work, but you're going to get exhausted with it. I know, because I do. If you follow me on social media, you know that we're already there, always there. I have some help on my own team that helps me out with social. Grace over here, who is in the booth running this podcast, has been helping us on our YouTube channel, making it better, and it's much better, and we're getting better numbers on it. But getting up every day and getting on social media and engaging with people and posting and curating content, it's really, really, really hard. But the only way that you are going to achieve your goals with social media is you have to do it every single day. And you got to be thinking another 6 months to 18 months of work before you're really going to get the traction that you're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yes, no, it does, and I appreciate that. And it's funny because one of my questions for you were, are there daily or weekly habits that I have to build on, to have a consistent routine to connect with people and build a pipeline similar to what I built with the referrals, and you answered it. So thank you. It's yeah, I have my work cut out for me, but I enjoy it. The little bit that I've done already, I mean, I just speak from the heart,
Yeah.
from experience, and yeah, it's actually I try to make it fun because it is a grind. Our work is already in sales is a grind.
That's true.
And to add this element to it, I'm looking forward to it.
Good. I think you nailed it. You just got to be yourself and, follow and step into your strengths. Don't try to copy paste other people. And one thing you might want to think about as you start building an audience is, if you have some downloads or you have something to give away, or there's a way for you to get email addresses, and take that with the group of clients and past clients you already have. Start building out a newsletter if you don't already have one. If you have one, great. If you don't have one, then extend that community into a newsletter or into a group or into anything where you can begin capturing that audience, so that now you can speak directly to them on a regular basis. And that then continues to generate leads. It's one of the reasons why we do this podcast. We've been podcasting for 18 years. We have an audience of people who listen, and we get leads on a regular basis that come in because there's somebody listening to the podcast right now that says, Jeb, we want Sales Gravy to come in and work with us directly. And not everybody's listening. We got, 60,000 people listening to this podcast this week. And, you know, 3 of them will say, I need your help. And 1 of them will call. If you think about it as a realtor, that's all you need. 1 or 2 people who have a house they want to list. And you did that every week or every month, and life is good, especially in this market.
Yes, no, I agree. And Jeb, you hear so much out there, and just to kind of piggyback on some of the things that I've learned in your teachings, is that they say, oh, cold calling, like, that's dead, and door knocking, it's dead, and I'm sort of old school, and, oh, well, why is it dead? It works, all of it works, and so incorporating social media is as a part of, there's an element of cold calling,
Yes.
but we're doing it in a social kind of atmosphere. So, making it kind of bringing it all together, and you're saying things that we've all heard, but kind of hearing it from someone that has a lot of influence is just making a difference and helping me with my shift and in my thinking and the way I want to build my business going forward.
Love it. Very good. Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on and joining us on the podcast. I really appreciate the question. It's a good one. I think a lot of people grapple with it, and it's just so funny. We just finished the book, The LinkedIn Edge, and it'll be out this fall. But I spent a lot of this winter really diving in and trying to look at building out a presence on social media from the ground up through like your eyes. Like, if you're starting over, how, or you're starting new, how would you do that? And it's hard. It is hard, but it is like you said, and I love what you said. It is part of a complete system where nothing is dead. Everything is alive. It's all alive, And you've got to be able to deploy all of those levers at the same time if you really want to grow your business.
I agree. I agree. Thank you. I appreciate, the opportunity to be on this platform. And again, thank you.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for joining us, and good luck on social media.
If you've got a question for the show, go to salesgravy.com/ask. That's salesgravy.com/ask, and just submit the form. One of our producers will reach directly out to you and get you scheduled for a session with Jeb. Now, I want to wrap up this podcast with a final thought. Margarita's question exposed a dangerous trap that successful veterans fall into: comfort zone complacency. The very success that got you here can become the biggest obstacle for getting you there. Margarita built an incredible 20-year career on referrals and relationships. 95% of her business came from the warm market connections that she'd already made. That's the dream, right? But here's what happened. She got so good at one channel that she ignored the evolution happening around her. And now she's playing catch up in a game where others have a 5-year head start. This is the success paradox that destroys more established professionals than the market crashes ever will. When you're crushing it with one approach, you stop investing in new approaches. You think, why fix what isn't broken? But markets don't care about your comfort zone. Technology doesn't wait for your permission to change the game. Here's what separates adaptive professionals from the obsolete ones. They understand that diversification isn't just a financial strategy, it's a survival strategy. Every lead source has expiration dates. Every channel eventually gets saturated or disrupted. The question isn't whether your current approach will stop working, it's about when. But here's the good news for veterans like Margarita. Your experience is your competitive advantage. You don't need to learn how to sell, you need to learn new ways to connect with buyers. 20 years of real-world experience is content gold. Every objection you've overcome, every deal you've ever saved, every market cycle you've ever survived, there's a social media arsenal right at your fingertips. The Tom Cruise analogy says it all. Nobody becomes a movie star overnight. It takes consistent daily presence to build the familiarity that breeds trust. But unlike Tom Cruise, you don't need to be perfect from day one. You just need to show up every day with value. So here's your wake-up call. Whatever got you to where you are today won't get you to where you need to be tomorrow. The market has moved. Your buyers have moved. The only question is, are you moving with them or are you getting left behind? Because in today's world, there are no participation trophies for past performance. There's only one question that matters. What did you post today? When you're tired and when you're ready to go home and you're going to call it quits, make one more call. This is Jeb Blount Jr., and we'll catch you next time on the Sales Gravy Podcast.
Hey, I'm doing a happy dance because you watched this video. Make sure that you click like and subscribe so that you never miss one of our amazing sales training videos.